Now from the Chief Justice, let's go to the Deputy Chief Justice Kalpana Rawal, who has today got a major relief at the Court of Appeal. Now the Court of Appeal gave a ruling allowing her to appeal to a High Court verdict to retire her at the age of 70. Rawal, who reached 70 this month, High Court Judge David Onyancha and Supreme Court Judge Phillip Tunoi, who is also 72, are opposed to a decision by the Judicial Service Commission to retire them at 70, insisting that the law allows them to serve until the age of 74.
That there is a right of a second appeal from this court to the Supreme Court, and therefore there must equally be a right of appeal from the High Court,
which also confers jurisdiction to this court to hear appeals from decisions of the High Court.
The unanimous verdict of 5 Court of Appeal judges and round 1 win for Deputy Chief Justice Kalpana Rawal, who will now continue serving in her present capacity as Deputy Chief Justice, pending the conclusion of her appeal against a High Court verdict to send her on retirement at the age of 70 years. Rawal, who reached 70 this month, 72-year-old Supreme Court Judge Phillip Tunoi and High Court Judge David Onyancha have all appealed the High Court retirement verdict, arguing that they were employed under the former constitution that set their retirement at 74.
Why did they reach the conclusion it is 74 years in 2011 and change later to say it is 70 years in 2014? Probably there was the aroma of vacancies arising in the Supreme Court.
In times when Burundi is on fire because of people hanging on to offices, so the issue of tenure and term of office is a very, very important issue in our political life and the polity today. And that the office of the Deputy Chief Justice is a very important office in this country. And the reasons being advanced for her staying in office are also very important in this country. It creates the question, did the Kenyans change everything or did some things remain unchanged?
Court of Appeal judges GBM Kariuki, Patrick Kiage, Otieno Odek, William Ouko and Lady Justice Jamila Mohammed unanimously dismissed an application where the Judicial Service Commission wanted the court to block Rawal from appealing her retirement age decision, arguing that the High Court had put the matter to rest, an application which the appellate judges dismissed on the ground that Rawal is constitutionally entitled to file an appeal case, a verdict which is also a win for Justice Tunoi and Onyancha.
Where there's a judgment of the High Court which has not been stayed by the due process of the court, I find it a bit irregular. And when you talk of corruption in the judiciary, this is an aspect of corruption whereby one of their own is being given preferential treatment.
The President of the court needs to constitute a bench. It may or may not be the same bench. It may be the same bench. I can't see that there will be 2 benches on a matter that is analogous.
The hearing of Rawal's appeal is slated for February 15th, while the appeal filed by Justices Tunoi and Onyancha was set to be heard on February 1st. Justice Tunoi is, however, awaiting the verdict of the special JSC committee that is investigating a 200 million shillings bribery allegation that is facing him. It is a verdict that now gives Deputy Chief Justice Kalpana Rawal and 2 other judges the go-ahead to file an appeal against that High Court verdict that affirmed the strong position of the Judicial Service Commission to send them home at the age of 70. And now what's looming here is another round of a bruising legal battle. Muremi Mwangi, KTN News, in Nairobi.